She threw the boiling water first. It struck my chest, soaked through my shirt, and clung like flames to my skin. She didn't flinch, just stood there, one hand gripping the empty pot, the other curled into a smirk. Get out. You're a useless leech. You don't live here for free. My skin burned, but the silence inside me burned hotter. I didn't argue. Just grabbed my keys and left the house I paid for, the house she had somehow convinced herself was hers. 5 years ago, I thought love meant sharing everything, even the silence, even the pain. I met her during a low point, between jobs, still grinding to build a startup that hadn't made a cent. She said she admired my ambition. Said she liked that I was a dreamer. I worked around the clock back then. Nights bled into days. I'd collapse into bed just before the sun came up, and she'd complain that the laptop fan kept her awake. I told myself that compromise was part of being in a relationship. So I compromised. She wanted more space. I bought a bigger home. Paid in full. Deed in my name. She wanted independence. I gave her freedom, never questioned where she went or with whom. When the company finally took off, I stayed quiet. No flashy lifestyle, no headlines, no public profiles. My LinkedIn still looked like I was unemployed. I had my reasons. One of them was standing in our kitchen, throwing my clothes into the yard the day after I finished paying off her car. I saw the change about 6 months before the boiling water. She began locking her phone at dinner, changed her passwords, started calling me lazy in front of others. Said she was joking. But jokes repeated enough start to ring true. Then came the digs around her friends. He's just chilling, she'd say.
No job.
I'm the one holding it down. They'd laugh. She'd laugh harder. I never said a word. Never corrected her. Never told them that little project of mine was bringing in 70 grand a month. That I owned 3 rental properties under a holding company, tucked safely behind layers of legal shielding. I stayed quiet because I wanted to see how far she'd go.
How deep the performance ran.
The night of the boiling water, she had plans. A dinner date not with me. She didn't bother pretending otherwise. Just stood in front of the mirror, slipping into a red dress, perfume heavy in the air. Don't wait up, she said, tossing her hair and walking out. I didn't. Instead, I spent the evening forwarding files to my lawyer, title deeds, asset portfolios, ownership contracts, and the prenup she never thought to read because she assumed I had nothing to protect. She told everyone I was broke. I let her. I wanted her arrogant. I wanted her overconfident. I wanted her blind. When she kicked me out, she thought it was a triumph. She thought she'd broken me. She forgot one detail. The house was mine. I didn't remind her. The next morning, at precisely 6:42 a.m., someone knocked. Not me. A process server. The envelope he handed her was cold and official. Eviction papers, legal repossession. Citing Clause 14C. Property damage and domestic assault. The police report I filed after the boiling water incident ensured the case was airtight. I wasn't required to be there. But I parked across the street anyway, sipping from the same thermos she once threw in the trash. Around noon, she came outside. Mascara streaked, phone glued to her ear, pacing and yelling. The house, my house, was already listed for rent. She called me 6 times. I didn't pick up. That was just the beginning. She found out quickly that freedom has a price. The car, leased through my company, was repossessed before the week was over. The joint account? I let her keep it. There was barely $400 left. The real money, mine, was tucked safely away overseas, untouched and out of reach. She went after spousal support. My prenup shut that door. She told people I abandoned her, left her with nothing. I stayed silent. But the messages she sent to another man, using the phone line I was still paying for, spoke louder than anything I could have said. My lawyer made sure they were seen. I never raised my voice. Never laid a hand on her. All I used was the truth and the legal system. Slowly, methodically, I dismantled her world. Now she lives in a crowded apartment with 3 others. They don't know she used to laugh at men who made less than her. The same man she mocked covered her rent for 2 extra months, quietly, just to meet the last legal obligation. She has no idea. But I do. And that's enough. Sometimes I drive past our old house. It's different now. Peaceful. A young family lives there. They have a golden retriever and a little girl who waters the flowers every Sunday. They don't know what that place saw, and they don't need to. That story's over. She once called me a beggar. But she begged first for forgiveness, for help, for one more shot. I gave her nothing. Because real revenge isn't loud. It's silent. It's about remembering and walking away with everything they try to take from you, still yours.